What up, nerds? My name is Leslie. Why do I point to myself? Like, there's somebody else that could be Leslie Smith. What up, nerds? My name is Leslie Smith. Welcome to the Nerdy Narrative, a channel where I talk about all sorts of bookish related content in the science fiction, fantasy, and horror genres. If this is your first time to visit my channel, welcome. As you watch, if you find that you are enjoying what you see, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up on your way down to the comments to let me know that you were here. If you missed Wednesday's video, I did the Brandon Sanderson tag that was created by Christy Lewis. I'll put a link up for you to check that out. It's really hilarious. Words are hard, people. Words are hard. Today is a special video. I have been working on this one for a while. I've actually filmed it once. It went a little sideways, and so I'm having to do it again, so I'm very late getting this up. This was supposed to be my celebratory Q&A for our family reaching 300 subscribers strong. We are now at 417 in our family, and I am just over the moon. I mean, it's just happened so fast. I can't believe it, but I need you to know I am extremely grateful for your support, and I thank you very much for helping this channel grow and thrive. Every one of you that comments below, that visit the Discord and have conversations, thank you. It just means a lot. So the first order of business is to announce the Peace Talks giveaway. So I finally found a random YouTube comment picker link that worked. The first 3 or 4 I tried wouldn't work. It was like, we can't find your link. It chose a winner, and that is the Cat Lady Book Nook. I've already contacted her. I've already got her address. I'm gonna wrap that sucker up and send it out. So congratulations to you. Thank you so much. The favorite character she picked was Mr. And then she said if she had to pick a person, it would be Harry. I'm also super excited because she is very, very early into the Dresden Files. So she's not at Peace Talks yet, which is great because I was thinking to myself, what if somebody wins that is already like caught up in the series, and here I am a week later sending them the latest book. They probably already had it. I was super excited that someone who is still early on in the series got it, and by the time she gets to Peace Talks, I know she's gonna be in love, and hopefully that'll make that book extra special. Got my trusty iPad here, so let's dig into the questions that I got from you guys over the past few weeks. What has been your favorite experience with BookTube so far? Man, I've had so many. If I had to pick a favorite singular experience, it's the friends I've made. Holy smokes. BookTube could not have come at a more opportune time in my life. I actually got started with my channel right after my husband and I moved a little over 700 miles from both of our families. Neither one of us have ever lived apart from our families before, and so it's been a very interesting experience. On top of that, right after we got here is when everybody went on lockdown due to the pandemic. So as a result, we have not been able to go out, really learn where any of our surroundings are. We haven't made any friends, things like that. And I am a people person. So BookTube has really, really been there for me because I have met so many amazing people, other BookTubers, people that watch my videos. It's really saved my life. The next question is, what do your tattoos mean and what are they of? So they're gonna be hard to catch on camera, but the first one, and I'll put a picture to the side, but the first one is Stitch and Scrump. And you'll see where Stitch looks like he's upside down and Scrump is on his feet. It's actually a Star Wars Stitch and Scrump mashup. It's from the scene where Luke is training with Yoda on Dagobah, and he's doing the handstand and Yoda's on his feet and he's lifting rocks with the Force. So the other one is Jack Skellington and Sally with lock, shock, and barrel spaces on the end. In addition to being a book nerd, I am a huge Disney nerd as well. There was a reason why I didn't mind that my husband got a job offer here. Next question. Aliens are invading the Earth. You have time to grab one item from your room that will instantly be transformed into a sentient and magical artifact to help you fight off the aliens. What object did you grab to save the Earth, and what's its secret power? If it's my room, I'm gonna grab my flat iron, and its secret power is going to be anything it touches is instantly reduced to ash. Well, if I had to go with this room, I'm gonna use my Luke Skywalker lightsaber. I mean, do I really need to go into the superpower it has? I don't think so. What percentage of your subscribers do you think you could beat in a fight? All of them! Oh yeah! What is your WoW/play time? I have actually let my subscription lapse. I kind of got bored with the latest expansion. I haven't quite decided if Shadowlands is enough to pull me back in. I've been more in a want to read, watch TV rather than play video game mood. The gameplay that's got the pull for me right now is console because of Paper Mario on the Switch. I can't get my WoW playtime right now, but if I re-up my sub, I will find that out and let you know. Who is your favorite Doctor Who companion, and Riversong doesn't count? I wouldn't actually call Riversong a companion. She's the Doctor's wife, and they rarely ever travel together. My top favorite companion is Amy Pond. Rory's okay. You can't have Amy without Rory, I guess. However, she is closely tied with Donna. I love Donna. She got the most horrible ending as one of the Doctor's companions than anybody. It's so sad that she can never remember her best friend and the best time she's ever had in her life, because if she does, she will die. That is awful, but man, she's so spunky and just speaks her mind, and her and David Tennant together were just amazing. Have you ever been skydiving? Actually, I absolutely have. Only once. And everybody kept saying, I can't believe you're going to pay good money to jump out of a perfectly good airplane. So for Christmas about 10 years ago, I bought him a skydiving jump, and I knew he wouldn't do it without me, so I got one too. It was a lot of fun. I will probably never do it again because the very next weekend at that same place we went to, there was an accident and somebody died. Let's just say they only bounced once. Okay? Favorite fantasy weapon? Hello, Nightblood. Yeah, boy. I love Nightblood. I cannot wait till we get his dedicated book, and that is supposed to be the eventual sequel to Warbreaker. Who doesn't love the idea of a sentient sword? Probably my second favorite would be one of the swords from the Dresden verse. Probably Butter, since he made it turn into a lightsaber. What is a favorite hobby of yours besides reading and working out? As I mentioned earlier, I love video games. We're actually collectors. I believe we have at least one of every gaming console. We did have a pretty extensive collection of all the NES carts. I think we got rid of some of them. We do also have the current consoles, the Switch and the Wii and the Wii U and all that fun stuff, which we haven't quite gotten unpacked and set up that area of the office yet. We're working on it. As soon as we have that ready, I'll definitely share a picture of it with you. We also love to play disc golf. We haven't gone to play on a course here yet due to the pandemic. Kind of scouted a few. Unfortunately, we don't live near any courses. Back home in Mississippi, we were about 2 minutes from one of the most popular courses in the state. Do Disney and Universals count as hobbies? Prior to BookTube, what did you do with all the time you now spend recording, editing, and interacting? So before we moved to Florida, I worked full-time at a credit union there. I was there for 11 years, and I was a loan officer. I did personal loans, credit cards, car loans, and all that kind of fun things. I used to be really into competitive running. I have fallen off the running wagon. I am currently suffering from plantar fasciitis, so I am trying to get rid of that so I can get back in the running groove again. I miss it. It's a huge stress reliever. And if I'm gonna run, I'm probably going to end up racing again, so we'll see what happens. Who is your favorite Star Wars character? Which character do you think would make a good spin-off show or movie? Favorite Star Wars character? That's hard. I grew up with the original trilogy of Star Wars. I do enjoy the rest of the franchise. I've supremely enjoyed The Mandalorian, loved Rogue One. I hated Solo. To me, the original trilogy just stands alone from the rest of the more modern type. So from the original trilogy, it would definitely be Han Solo. I just had great love for him as a child. So Han Solo would be my favorite from the original trilogy. From the newer ones, I'm gonna have to go with Kylo Ren. I held out so much hope through those last few movies that he was going to be redeemed. And when he was, I couldn't have been more excited. And then 2 minutes later, he dies. I will forever be pissed at that. What character would make a good spin-off? That's another difficult one because I've always wanted to know more about Yoda and his race, and I kind of feel like we might get that with The Mandalorian. Probably the only other character I think would be super interesting would be Lando. That character just has so much charisma. There's so much inferred about his history with Han. If we broke him out and had his own movie or series, then we would get some of Han, but not too much. What sort of things, a quest, group of friends, prophecy, ancient civilizations, battles, do you most enjoy in a fantasy book? Prophecy. I love fantasy books with prophecies in them because it gives you so much to think about. Especially when they're sort of presented at the front, which they typically are. Everything you read, you're just puzzling. Like, is this fulfilling a piece of the prophecy? You're working at that puzzle the whole time. A new sort of thing that I've never had happen before happened to me in The Faithful and the Fallen. The series hinged around a prophecy, and then there was a huge twist in the next to last book regarding that prophecy. And I won't spoil it because I know a lot of people are working on that series, but it really turned everything on its head. It was infuriating, but it was freaking brilliant at the same time, and I loved it. Prophecies just give you so much to puzzle over and think about, and I'm usually watching so hard for anything that might have a clue about it that I end up missing all the clues that are there for me. Favorite thing about Florida so far? I'm about 10 minutes from Disney and about 20 minutes from Universal Studios. So yeah, every weekend I'm hitting one or the other or both. I love the sunshine. I love the weather here. It's so beautiful. Like, everything is so beautiful. Every road I've been on, whether it be a back road or a main road, is just beautifully landscaped. I did recently meet a local who told me the reason why my area was so pretty is because the neighborhood right behind mine, a whole bunch of the NBA players live there. They're responsible for putting a lot of money into the community, and so that's why our area is so pretty. I don't know who they may be, but the only one that I recognize the name of is Shaquille O'Neal. It's for sale, so I don't think he actually lives there anymore. But you know, if you got 26 million, let me know. I'll get you hooked up with his real estate agent. How long have you been reading books, and what's your favorite books? I have been reading ever since I can remember. My mother said I learned to read at a much younger age than was typical in school. I can't remember. I just remember when I was a little tot, when they would have the book fair. Oh my gosh, that little paper flyer they would give us would be so raggedy because I would just look through and beg my mom for money, and I would go buy as many books as I could. That was the highlight of my year. And I remember when I think I was around 7, my dad took me to the library and got me a library card and would let me check out a stack of books. Oh, it was so fantastic. And if I had really been thinking about it, I could have been really rich by now, because my favorite books as a kid, I would check them out over and over and over. Well, one day I got the bright idea of taking my boombox and recorded myself onto a cassette tape reading my favorite books on tape. I could have created an audiobook, y'all. I'll never forget when my brother caught me recording Kissing Karen Kepplewhite onto a cassette tape. I never lived that down. My current top favorite book is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. Some other top favorites are Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers, The Host by Stephanie Meyer, The Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan that Brandon Sanderson finished, the Sword of Truth series by Terry Goodkind. I know a lot of people don't like that author, and that's okay. I don't know him, but I sure love his books. The Faithful and the Fallen series is a new favorite. I have a weak spot for Jude Deveraux romance novels. How long do you think you could survive in a zombie apocalypse? Well, as long as I get this plantar fasciitis up, I'm gonna survive for a long time. Because as long as there are slower people than me around, I'm gonna survive because I'm gonna outrun some folks. What's your favorite Doctor Who episode? When Matt Smith was the 11th Doctor, there's a 2-part series called When a Good Man Goes to War. When his storyline is coming to a close, the Doctor has called in just about every favor he is owed, and he has gone to this planet to rescue Amy Pond and her daughter, which they later find out is actually River Song. That is also the one where he ends up marrying River. I love it. It is just intense, insane, and just my favorite. What was your first auto recommend book? Redeeming Love. I used to work at Lifeway Christian Bookstore. Every single time somebody walked up to me and they're like, I don't know what I'm in the mood for. What's your top favorite book in here? I, without fail, recommended Redeeming Love. And the first edition has a really pink cover of a pretty blonde girl on the front. So men were kind of like, I don't know. And I'm like, no. Just ignore the cover. It's a fictional retelling of the book of Hosea. You will love it. And every single person I recommended that book to came back to thank me. Phenomenal story. Whether you're a religious person or not, is an extremely enjoyable love story about unconditional love. What Disney snack is the best? Okay, I may not be the greatest person to answer that because I'm not much on sweets. I am more of a savory person. Meat and potatoes. Give me some fried chicken. I do actually have one sweet snack that I love besides the Mickey Mouse Dilly Bars. It's the strawberry bubble waffle. I'll slide a picture up here for you. It's delicious. It's basically a flat crepe with fresh cut strawberries, some vanilla ice cream, and these little pink ball things that kind of pop in your mouth when you're eating them. What are your top 5 favorite movies? Ghostbusters, Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, John Wick, the original Star Wars trilogy, I'm counting them as one, The Neverending Story, Goonies. There's just no top 5 favorite. I mean, and that's not even getting into the Disney movies. Oliver and Company, Lion King, Little Mermaid, The Aristocats, Hercules. I can't do this. I can't do these 5. No. I cannot be reduced to 5, okay? What has been your favorite part about getting back into reading horror? The thrill. The absolute thrill. I'm a big fraidy cat. It's like the older I get, the more I can read these horror stories and see the truth in them. Or I keep thinking to myself, this story was probably written because of a true event that happened. And sure, it is embellished upon, but I just keep thinking to myself, what was it that happened that gave birth to this story? And then my overactive imagination just takes it from there. I guess because I have such an overactive imagination that I can add to the horror myself, it just makes it that much more exhilarating. So it's been a pleasure. I tell you, horror books are a freaking thrill ride. Being a Disney fan, who are some of your favorite Disney villains? Okay, probably one of my top favorites is the voodoo guy from The Princess and the Frog. He was just done so well, and I have spent so much time over in New Orleans, and I am just absolutely fascinated by voodoo. I've visited every voodoo shop. I have listened to any story any of the people who work there will tell me. I've done tours. I've done the cemetery tours, the ghost tours, but the cemetery tours will show you the different voodoo priestesses and things of that nature, and people still go and bring and leave offerings at their tombs. Oh man, it's just fascinating. That guy is probably one of my top favorite villains. The evil queen from Snow White is just timeless in her level of fear that she can just spark in a person. I can't take Ursula seriously because she's an octopus. I love Hades from Hercules. He's entertaining, probably because he's voiced by James Woods, and I freaking love James Woods. If you could pick one meal to eat for the rest of your life, what would it be? Chicken. Do you play video games or board games? If so, what are some of your favorites? That sounds like an Angela question. I actually hate board games. I will play them with certain people, but for the most part, I've always been stuck playing board games with people who cheat, or they have played the game so much that they have memorized all of the questions and answers. You know, the wrong person starts losing and gets mad and throws the board in the air. So I've had some really terrible experiences playing board games. I like video games. Gosh, I have a lot of favorites. Devil May Cry, Baldur's Gate, Super Mario Bros. 3, all the Paper Marios on whatever console it was released on. I don't know why I have such a thing for Paper Mario, but the love is real. NES, man. Hardcore love. Tetris, Dr. Mario, Contra, Bubble Bobble, Paperboy, the Mario 64 with the stars. I wish I had my video game collection unpacked, because then it would be easier, because I'd be like, oh yeah, here they all are. I'll just show you a picture. How do you read so many books at one time? I've actually had a lot of people ask me that, my husband included, and I just kind of reminded him, you know, back when we were in school, we had 6 to 7 classes a day. You're reading different material in all 6. I guess it's just easy for me to compartmentalize. Sometimes it takes a minute, but I get there. And I also read different books at different times. And I think having some time between each makes it easier to switch gears. Like if I was to pick up one book, read it for 30 minutes, put it down, immediately pick up another one, I think I would have trouble changing gears. It's also more difficult if you're reading the same genre. I screwed up and was reading Malice and the Way of Kings at the same time, and I started getting a little confused, so I learned not to do that. So typically I get up about an hour before my husband and the pups do, and I'll read for that hour. Lately it's been manga with Una, which has been a phenomenal start to the day. Manga is so fun, it's so quick, and it's just easy to get caught up in. It's usually pretty funny, or at least Una and I can find some joke to make about what we've read. Then I typically, when I have my afternoon cup of coffee, I'll read another book. That is where my Storm Along 2020 read goes. So right now, it's been The Way of Kings. I usually read about 20 to 30 pages of that per day. Later in the evening, after the pups have had dinner, we've taken them for their walk, we've had our dinner, I'll grab a shower, and then sit down for what I call my main read. And that's where I'll read, 2 to possibly 3 hours of whatever my main focus interest book is. So another thing that helps me keep my books separate, I have a notebook with me at all times. I take notes. I don't write like extensive notes. I just write fragments that'll help me keep track of what I feel is important in a story, or something that I feel like may have meaning later that I just need to put together. Oh, this is a good one. Have you ever been horseback riding? Was that something you enjoyed? I love horseback riding, and yes, I have been. My best friend Heather has always had horses, and whenever I would go visit her, we would ride. I always rode Cola, which was short for Coca-Cola. Cola, she didn't require me to do anything. She was gonna follow whatever other horse was around. So basically, Heather would ride ahead and my horse was gonna follow her horse. I didn't have to do anything, which was fine because I didn't have to do anything. That left me free to take care of all of the important things that you need to do when horseback riding. And that is wear a big old hat and sing cowboy songs. Poor Heather. But at least she said she was glad, because if there were any critters around that she didn't want us to run into, I was sure to run them off. What's your favorite Disney movie? If I had to pick just one, Lilo and Stitch. I would like to know about any fan conventions you've been to. The only conventions I've actually regularly attended are Gen Con, which is coincidentally a gaming convention, mostly card games and board games. And they would do a little bit of LARPing. The other is Retropalooza, which takes place in Arlington, Texas every September, October, and that is a huge retro video game con. So I would love to attend a BookCon. I just need to find a good one. I don't know what a good one would be. And of course, everything kind of got shot out of the water for this year. So I guess I'll have to look into it next year. I've always wanted to go to Dragon Con. I just always put it off. I'm like, oh, I'll do it next year. Because a lot of times, Dragon Con and Retropalooza would coincide, and I wasn't willing to not go to Retropalooza for Dragon Con. And now that we've moved all the way to Orlando, Dragon Con would be kind of crazy unless I can find a really good flight deal. Who knows? We'll just have to see. I know there's a BookCon in New York, which I might be able to talk my husband into going to because we love New York. We actually eloped in Central Park and we love to go up there and eat. So I could convince him to combine BookCon with a little pleasure trip. But yeah, we totally eloped in Central Park. He is a huge Ghostbusters fan, and he told the photographer, I specifically want to be on this bridge. I want to have these buildings in the background because they're the ones from the Ghostbusters movie. Which the second half of the question was how I met my husband. And funny story, we met in 2002 because I was dating his best friend. And the whole first year I knew Chris, I couldn't stand him. We were young. We were not the people that we are today. We were acquaintances, and then we became friends, and then we became best friends for about 2.5, almost 3 years. And then it was kind of like, hey, you're kind of cute. Favorite food? Fried chicken. Although I do love hibachi chicken, I ain't afraid of no grilled chicken either. Which TV shows and films do you most enjoy? Just about anything. Science fiction, horror. I don't stick to like a set genre when it comes to TV shows and movies. I love any kind of mystery, murder, suspense, thriller, horror, fantasy. I mean, you name it, I will watch it. Docuseries, for some reason, I get addicted to those. I don't know why. Most of the time, it's not even a topic I'm really interested in. I'm just fascinated in learning about why a particular person did what they did. For some reason, that really interests me. Some of my favorite shows, Stranger Things. Oh, I'm hardcore into that. Umbrella Academy, Titans. I don't know if DC Universe is going to continue that one or not, but that one was done really well. Gosh, Netflix before it got hosed with Daredevil, Punisher, Jessica Jones. I even liked the Iron Fist and the Defenders. I wasn't mad at. Luke Cage, he didn't get the justice he deserved in my opinion, but like shows like superhero shows, like of course all of the Marvel movies, good gravy, fantastic. DC needs to just stop. If you were stranded on a desert island and you could only eat one type of food for the duration of your stay, what kind of food would you pick? Steak, because give me that red meat and protein. Who are your favorite members of the community? Holy smokes. How much longer do y'all have to sit here and listen to me go over that? There is no right answer for that, and no way possible I could answer it. I think the last time I looked, I am like subscribed to 159 booktubers, and I love them. I try to watch every single video because I'm either learning something helpful to do with reading or using something reading related to make things easier. I am learning how to be a better booktuber, hearing about books and series that are coming out that I may have missed that I want. The people themselves are just great people. That was the last question. If you have hung around till the end, thank you so much for watching. This was really fun. I hope you learned a little bit more about me. Hit me up in the comments below if you have some really funny answers to some of those questions for yourself. I would love to hear about it. If you would love to interact with me more, as well as the rest of the Nerdy Narrative family, a link to my Discord is down below in the description box for you to come and join us. We would love to have you. I am so very grateful to all of you for being here. Thank you so much for supporting me, for watching my content, for providing feedback and suggestions. I am eternally grateful. I hope we continue to have a great time building this channel together. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.